Hey you guys, it is Crystal Lopez here from crystalandcomp.com. How are you? I hope you are having an awesome day. I'm going to show you how I made homemade beef and broccoli, but before I do that, I'm going to take you with me along for a quick trip inside H-E-B, which is a Texas grocery store that is incredible. We have tons of them here in South Texas, but they are starting to put them in North Texas as well. I'm going to show you what I purchased, what I grabbed. I needed broccoli for my beef and broccoli because my broccoli that was in the freezer was freezer burnt. I needed some produce. I needed milk minus those Dr. Peppers. This was $60. Can you believe that? All right, guys, this was a very quick H-E-B run. This is what $65 will buy you right now. Insanity, absolute insanity. And I had a coupon for these, and I had a coupon for something else. What was it? The blueberries, the blackberries. I had a coupon for the blackberries and the apples. They have some coupons in store. Grabbed 2 things of milk. I needed milk and I needed fresh broccoli. I'm making beef and broccoli for dinner, and my broccoli that was in the freezer has been in there for probably 2 years, and it's definitely freezer burnt. So I'm really sad. Went ahead and grabbed some more tortillas because we can make breakfast tacos or quesadillas for lunch. With these, we're on a cucumber kick right now. So I got some cucumbers. We like to have those just as like an extra little side. Apples, I needed more mayo for my, ooh, that looks like it's kind of bubbly. I hope that the date on this is okay. It says it is. I needed more mayo for my tuna casserole, and I really need to get back into Costco. Whoops! I get back into Costco and get some of this tuna in bulk, because otherwise it's $2 and some change for each can at H-E-B. So I think it was like $2.50. The only thing missing from this table is a small thing of Dr. Peppers that I bought for my kids. It was like a pack of 6, and one of the teenagers said, "Mom, will you grab us a pack of those?" And so I did. This is it. This is it. What in the world? Guys, our money is just not going very far, is it? But we're still on track for our budget. So I've got so much meat in my freezer. I'm doing everything I can to go through all of that. We're gonna meet our budget goals for our groceries, okay? All right. That's just a quick look at what we got here. All right, you guys. So you may be wondering, how are we doing on our grocery budget? I made a commitment to spend $600 to $700 on groceries this month, when typically at this point with the rising prices in groceries, we are spending $1,200, sometimes $1,500 a month on groceries. Now, groceries do include oftentimes dog food and, our toilet paper, paper towels, things like that. I do not budget those separately. But here's how we're doing so far. So far, we've spent $422.49, and we're almost halfway through the month. So our very first grocery haul was the Walmart and Sam's haul. That was a pretty big, it was $263. And then our next haul was $85.57, and that was a lot of stuff that was on sale at H-E-B. Everything from that haul came from H-E-B. The chicken was on sale for 99 cents a pound, and we stocked up on that. We bought quite a bit. The cheese was on sale. Other things we needed, that was the cheapest place to get milk. I'm really focused on doing the comparison shopping and buying things at the cheapest place. So some of you guys have said, but gas gets expensive. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So I'm planning the trips when I'm going in that area, or honestly, all the stores are right here. We're not in the city, but we are right outside of the city. And there are, within a 2 to 5 mile radius, all the stores that I could need are here, right? Then we also have this $62.70 haul that was from H-E-B as well, plus that $11.22 budget dinner that I did at Walmart. That was $11.22. So that put us at a total of $422.49. So if we are spending $600 this month, we still have $178 left. And if we are going to spend $700 this month, we have $278 left. I feel good about this. I think we are going to be just fine. I'm trying to figure out what is reasonable here. What is reasonable for our grocery budget? Can we get by on 600, or is that too much of a stretch? 700, I'm still very happy with that. I am really being mindful of every single thing that I put in my cart when I'm grocery shopping, what the prices are, where I can get the best deal, and being mindful of how much I'm paying per serving and per meal for my family, for the dinners and food that we're making. And remember, we homeschool, so our kids are home eating all 3 meals a day at home, okay? This is steak that I had in my freezer. I have a brother that raises cattle, and this is a cow that we had processed through him, and it's over a year old. It was freezer, or it was what it was that called, where they vacuum seal it. That's what the processor did, and then they wrapped it. I am amazed. It looked fine. I smelled it. Everything was fine. This is, I believe this is like a top round steak, a top, or maybe they call it top sirloin. I feel like those words are used interchangeably. It's about 2 pounds worth of steak. You could use a regular sirloin, just something that's thin, or something that you can cut up thin. So you see, I'm getting the fat off and I'm just slicing it up real thin. And believe it or not, this is enough meat for our family. This fed exactly 7 people. All 7 people in our family had a nice big bowl of this, and they were full, and everything was great. I think we might have eaten some leftover watermelon too that was in the fridge. Like, this was plenty. So we're chopping this up. What's interesting is this is a recipe that when my husband and I first, years ago, years ago, when Crystal was in her 20s, this is something, it was like a special meal that I would make. And it was not super, like, I won't say that it was hard for me to make, but it was a lot of work, right? In my 20s, this was scratch cooking. And so when things are so much more convenient in boxes, or just dumping a little bit of seasoning and some meat in the crock pot, this was more work. And anytime he brings this up, he'll say, Mom used to make this beef and broccoli. It's so good. And at this point, my kids, I've had, now I've made it a couple of times during their childhood. But when he brings it up, so often I think to myself, oh, but that's so much work, because it's still in my mind from my 20s that this was so much work, right? But now I cook for so many people. This is nothing. This is actually super easy to make. So we're just starting with a little bit of olive oil. We put our garlic and our onions in there, and we're going to throw that meat in. We're going to add a little bit of salt. I think I put some pepper on it. I did. And we're just going to brown this a little bit. Okay. Get it nice and brown. We don't want to cook it too high. We don't want it to get tough. One of my teenagers did feel like it was a tiny bit tough, but everybody else was fine. Nobody else complained. Maybe I didn't cut it in the right direction. I don't know, but I thought it was great. I'm not super picky about that stuff. So we're taking some cornstarch and some soy sauce, or what I actually use is coconut aminos. And then I also put a little bit of red pepper flake in there. You could actually put more. It was not spicy at all. I could have put more. But it will make kind of like a soy sauce roux. I don't know. Basically, you're making a teriyaki sauce, I guess. That's mentally what I think it is in my mind. So that all comes together very, very quickly. It coats the meat really well, and then I just kind of set it to the side and let it rest. I added the last little bit of mixture that was in that measuring cup, just to kind of give a little bit of liquid to the rest of these veggies that I'm going to cook up. I also added that little bit of um, olive oil, and we're going to cook this up. We're going to do the broccoli. We're going to let this cook a little bit before we add the broccoli. But I will also say the ginger, we could have just diced it up. I used a microplane, and the microplane really just turns it to mush. See, it's so hard to get it off of there. You totally could just chop it up or use a cheese grater to grate it. And I think it gives more flavor when it's chopped up really small, opposed to using the microplane. It just kind of blends in with everything. But the ginger is really good flavor, and so I like that. I like that a lot. So here we are. We're just getting all of that mixed up real well, and now we're going to add in the broccoli. And we want to let this cook down a little bit until we want our broccoli to be not we don't want to overcook it, but we want for it to be where it's easy to eat. So I added about a cup of water just so that this could kind of help steam it and help it cook through a little bit. I have it over like a medium heat, and we're just going to let this cook through a little bit before we add the meat to it. And then we're going to add a little bit more of that soy sauce cornstarch mixture. All right, so see how this has really cooked down? As we continue to let it kind of simmer there, it's going to cook down a little bit more and a little bit more. And as it's cooked down to the point that where the tenderness of the broccoli is right where we want it, now we're going to add that meat in there. And it already has some of the teriyaki sauce in there that we made, that cornstarch with soy sauce or coconut aminos. But when we add that meat in, it was very coated with it. So now it's just really coating everything. The flavors are well combined. I made about 4 cups of rice in the Instant Pot. It's my favorite way to make rice. You just do equal parts water to equal parts jasmine rice. Cook it for 4 minutes. Add a little bit of salt and a little bit of butter before you close the lid off, and there you go. It was absolutely delicious. It was so good. So there's a bowl of rice, and we're gonna make sure that everybody gets some meat and some veggies. It was delicious. We loved it. Add a little bit of soy sauce, or add a little bit more coconut aminos or whatever to the top. I'll tell you, my almost 11-year-old, as soon as look at that, it's so good. As soon as he heard that it was coconut amino and not soy sauce, he's like, oh, I can taste the coconut. I can taste the sweet. This is sweet. I don't think that coconut aminos taste sweet. They don't to me, but maybe to you they do. The coconut aminos are less sodium, so that's a really good positive. All right, so this is a different night. My shirt is wet from doing some dishes. Like, that is one of my favorite shirts. It is so comfortable, and the front of it looks super dirty, but it's wet from doing the dishes that were in the sink. Anyway, so here's what we're doing. Remember those smothered pork chops that we made? I had quite a few of them left over, and because that really was a lot. I could have divided that into 2 separate meals and froze half of it. But anyway, we are going to take what's left over, and we're going to cut those pork chops up. They're just really tender and delicious. There's not the flavoring of, I mean, all it has on it is the cream of celery and the onion soup. So they're just very well flavored. We're going to cut this up, and we're going to turn this into some fried rice. This is a different night's dinner, a couple of nights later. And honestly, if I was feeding more people, I could have made that beef and broccoli and made this as well. And we could have fed even more people. So say there were a bunch of people coming over for dinner, I could have done that. But we're going to chop these up, and I'm going to show you that ground chicken stir fry that I made last week. I thought, you know what? Since the chicken kind of disappeared in there, let's try making it with pork chops and see how the family likes it. So that's what we did. All right, so I just took the pork chops. Well, first I started with olive oil, garlic, onion, added some mushroom, let it kind of simmer a little bit, and then added in all the pork chops and or that pork meat, and just stirred it up real good. Added coconut aminos. I actually also added a little bit of butter to make it not so dry. The egg, the peas, the frozen peas and carrots. It was delicious. It was really good. My husband had a friend over. Even he said it was great. It's funny to watch in this video. My husband cannot sit still. He is such a pacer, and like he has to be moving all the time. I see him in these videos sometimes when he's in the kitchen, and he's always got to be moving. Cracks me up. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I am on a mission to help all of us save as much money as possible on our grocery budgets, and just stretch our meals as far as we can, and stretch our grocery budget as far as we can, and feed our families well, but not break the bank. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.